Good morning and welcome to Ninja Diaries. I have my special guest here, Alecia Stringer, and she is going to teach you how she got 2,000 and 3,000 shares on simple Facebook posts. So let me introduce myself. My name is Alecia Peabody, and I am known as the Ninja in High Heels. I specialize in helping the small business owner just like you figure out how to navigate this social media world and this internet marketing world so that you can create a business that works even when you don't. And Alecia is primo for that. Yesterday, what was Alecia doing? She was at the zoo with second graders. Is that right, Alecia?
That's right.
How many second graders did you go to the zoo with yesterday?
Oh my goodness, that zoo is packed.
I love it. So Alecia is the phenomenal, we call her the pink hat lady in the network marketing group we're in. But what she has to share today is valuable for all of us, for any of us. We all can get this information and use it on a day-to-day basis. So Alecia, tell us a little bit about yourself. When I first met you at an event, you had your pink hat. We all know you as a pink hat lady, and they're very rare, by the way. So you know she's been around in this group for a little while because you can't buy a pink hat anymore. So she sits up there and she's got that beautiful blonde hair, and she's not shy, but she's not outgoing. She's polite, she's gracious, she's beautiful. And then I saw her walk onto stage in front of 1,500 people, I think, this last weekend. And you find out she's this ninja Facebook marketer, and you're like, oh my gosh, she's been holding out on me. So Alecia, tell us about yourself, about your daughter, and then tell us about your Facebook marketing and how do you do that?
Leslie, I really appreciate you. It's been a journey. Like you said, we all go on this journey and figuring out, why we do certain things or how things happen. And some people just think you're lucky, and it's not really that way. You're going on a journey. So I started my online journey back when my baby was a baby. Back in 2007. I was like, I've got to find another way because I teach piano, and we just moved to a new place, and it really takes about 2 years to get established and learn the area and kind of know people. So here I was on scratch again, trying to build another piano studio, and then the market just crashed. No one was looking for piano students. I was in a small town going, oh my word, there's nobody really wants piano students, and going, I have to figure out another way. I'm going to have to build some skills. I still want to stay home with my daughter. In fact, really going out and even getting a teaching job wasn't an option. I was determined I'm going to stay home with my daughter, and realizing, like, oh my goodness, I've got to figure out this computer thing and figure out a way to make money online. And, figuring out the way to work for someone online was not really an option. There wasn't really a way to figure out how do you work for someone online. It's always been a business owner type of world online when you're trying to generate income online. And so I didn't realize the different aspects of how to do that. So like, you need to get into network marketing or affiliate marketing and ways to generate, have your own store online. So I was trying to figure all that out, going, I've got to figure out these skills. What do I need to learn? And I went in full blown, had a business credit card. I didn't know what the limit was. And I was just like, I'm just going to go for it, and burn my bridges on, different pay-per-click strategies, trying to figure things out. And the one thing that I did that was profitable that I didn't realize, my upline didn't tell me, I just got this random call one day when you need to have a blog. I'm like, a blog, okay. And so I built up this blog since 2007 when I started. It was about 6 months afterwards, and they gave me training. They even gave me someone to do blog posts for them. I didn't even really know what it was. They, just trying to build up that. And my sponsor called me, that's the smartest thing you can do. You're starting to create a relationship with people, and people are starting to see what you're doing online. So I've had my blog, the 2A Success Dream blog.com, since 2007, I guess, back there when I got started. And it's really interesting to see some of those blog posts with the journeys that I've had, because some of them I haven't edited and they're just out there. You know how those go. And a lot of people on this journey do that. And then, you know, as I'm creating this journey, finding different strategies and building up and learning who the leaders are on who brings in those $1 million, you know, stuff, it's really learning what those strategies are doing, and being very consistent on, you know, making sure that you're following exactly what they did. You're doing the same process. You're going on that same journey. Everyone's journey is different. And you have to make sure that, is that what they did? And I can do that too. And that was kind of like my guidepost. You know, they did testimonials for people in their team or people close around them using the same system. And I can do that too. You know, we all love this system. I don't really know the person like at all. And that was kind of how I got started in video marketing, going, you know, I can do that too. They're using the same system I'm using. You know, I love the system, and just talk about that rather than I really knew the person, or, you know, who they were or what they represented. But I knew they represented the system, and I knew what I loved about that gave me that hope that people getting in and using this training can go out there and be successful in doing as well. So moving forward, and, you know, my daughter's growing up, and, you know, me having some successes, still struggling online, and finding a true team of, you know, how I was finding the owners of this company, and how, you know, things just kind of put aligned with the mentors that, you know, I followed, I trusted, and I knew their process that they were doing, that, you know, there's things that I was able to leverage and put in place that enabled me to have, you know, different success on there. So when you are finding ways that you can align yourself in what you want to accomplish, the results that you want to follow people, find out what did they have aligned in place. And so I'll share a few secrets that enabled me we want to stay short of what we have in place within the company, within the team, because not everybody, I realized, got in my team loved to blog. And I know that there's different, you know, strategies that they like to study more, that they're like, I know this works from some other people, or this is what I like to do better, you know, or, you know, just more aligned with themselves. Maybe the blogging thing wasn't their thing, that we're able to tap into different aspects of marketing that fits and aligned with them, because maybe I didn't want to do quite page strategies, and I knew the long term of the, you know, video marketing and blogging out there was able to be consistent in a way. You know, sometimes people can do that pay-per-click and find those campaigns, and they can do that on a consistent basis because they're a guy, they got a regular budget that they can do that, or I don't know, they're a woman, whatever they are, it doesn't matter. But there is a place that we were able to leverage this team blog. And a lot of people don't understand what is the team blog. Yes. And the team blog is where we're all a part of the system. And we have that little affiliate ID that we're all using the same thing. On the banners on the side, they're all going to the same capture pages, and they're all getting the system, you know, emails, system stuff that works. And everybody can leverage the system in a way that we can customize, you know, the content to the same things. And so it's a way that we're using the team blog. We might be edifying, you know, what's happening in our team. We might be sharing more strategies, what's going on in the team. We may just be simply sharing, you know, look, this is a better career, or, you know, basic personality colors, or, you know, something that someone that would look at the system, that would find value in the system. We're finding that target audience. And maybe ways of you're staying at home and you've got all these distractions, and how do you stay focused, and simple tips like that we would want to come back to and follow. So there's a way that our team has put qualifications inside of who would write for this and what we would write for. We got certain things that we want in this blog post and a structure that we want to make sure that is done right. We don't want to just put a 200 word up there and going, who is this and why would they, blog? These are quality blog posts that anybody would want to, share and recommend that you read, something that people will want to come back to and reference and look at again. And maybe it's a huge list of things. So think of how you can position yourself in that quality content, that something that you would want to give out there for somebody that would want to come back and put simple processes together or something that they want to do. So this whole team blog post that has those qualifications, and I was able to be part of the elite group at first to write for this. And you can get outsourced people to write for it, have those qualifications, but you are positioning yourself that you can be one of the first ones to put your content in there. And so I put a couple of pieces of content in there, and I didn't realize all his analytics and tracking of what's going on with that blog post. The only notifications I get was maybe for some backlinks back to my own stuff, back to my own blogs that I put out there, says this is where you can find me. And as well as the comments that come through, I would get notifications of that, so I could respond back in a timely manner, right? People are commenting, you want to make sure that you are involved in sharing that quality content and giving that feedback. So I was able to get a couple of blog posts on there. And so the whole team saw this valuable content that I was able to put out and just highly recommend it. And people share it all sorts of times. Sometimes there's a big time that we're all going to share the latest blog post out there. And the latest one that just came out, oh, a new blog post came out, you got that big initial share, but people are going back and going, which one was valuable for my new team member that would want to, read this and have that involved. So some of those do come back and going, and they're reshared again. So after time, it's I don't know how long ago I wrote that. Maybe less than a year ago, I guess. It's built up.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's built up all of those different shares and, people wanting to get this information out there for their team and leverage their ID, on the end and get sales as well, people looking at this content. So that is how you're positioning yourself. One, you're knowing who the leaders out who have, this available for you to leverage you and your signature, whether you write it or you get someone outsourced it, make it happen, get in position. And then that consistent strategy that you are sharing it with your team, you've got that quality content, what you have in place for that consistent value that you want to put out there for that. So I'm just consistent. Leslie knows I go to all the events now and just staying consistent in the strategies. So I look back and seeing what has been consistent to me and people knowing who I am. It's really all those blog posts that I do on a consistent basis. I think I slacked off this last month because I was trying to put a Udemy course together and putting some different things in place. And so I'm like, I've got to get back to being consistent. I've got my YouTube videos, they're out there and they're consistent. And what can you do to kind of be consistent in a way that is who you are and people can find you, and just sharing that you're in the game, you are actively, people are going to find you and know that you're who your heart is and where you align, and it's not going to change because you've made a commitment. You're being consistent in what you're doing. You've set that goal out there that I'm going to make it. I'm going to make this happen for my family. I've got my why out there. People know my why. People know my vision, and you're committed and consistent in that strategy. So that's just what was over enthused at this last event. Leslie, do you agree that this just stuff that's naturally, it comes out,
And it was amazing to watch you walk onto stage, because I've known you for the better part of a year and I've been following you, right? But I didn't realize what ninja skills you had. So let's get back to those ninja skills for a minute, because maybe people don't understand what a blog does. So I just want to tell you this quick little story before Alecia answers my question. And I'm sitting at an event and I'm talking to a $500,000 leader, right? Somebody who's made about $500,000. This was about 6 months ago in the network marketing company we're in. And going up on stage shortly is an earner that had earned more than $1 million. And this gentleman that I was sitting there talking to, he said, you know the difference between me and this other guy? He blogged and I didn't. Because we started at about the same time. And now look at the results he has versus the results I have. He's got all this residual income coming in from those blogs that he wrote. So when Alecia's talking about content, what she's talking about is her blogs. If you're not really into this market yet, if you don't know what she's really talking about, she's talking about sharing her blogs, sharing her ideas, sharing her knowledge on a blog. What's a blog? It's a diary. It's a diary, that's all it is. And she is excellent at it. So Alecia, and this is my favorite part. When I asked her this morning, Alecia, which blogs had shared 2,000 and 3,000? She can't tell me. She doesn't even keep the statistics. She doesn't know. So that is what's so awesome about this, is if you don't watch it, which she has a team member that does watch it for her, if you don't watch it, you don't know what a ninja you are. She didn't know. So Alecia, tell us, when you became part of this elite team, this elite blogging team, now you don't need an elite blogging team, okay? Mm-hmm. That is a great thing to have, and she probably got 100 or 200 shares off of that. But let me tell you, the girl did not get 2,000 shares off of that. The girl got 2,000 and 3,000 shares because she wrote something that matters to everyone every day. It matters to business people. They were business related, the ones that I read, right?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so tell us, what did you do to be part of this elite team? So what does a blogging diva or a blogging ninja have to have? What qualifications do you have? And then how did you come up with that? You certainly didn't know when you came up with it that it was going to be that kind of lifetime shares, but how do you come up with your ideas?
Good point, because there's some things you want to put in place, and you have to think about your audience. So obviously I knew, this is a team blog. People in the team are going to be looking at it, and, what do they want to know? So I went to an event, Leslie. I took some notes and I used what I learned from the event. It's not rocket science. I learned from the speakers. I took some notes and said, you know what? They're giving me information. I need to put it in a way where everybody else will learn. So some of the most popular posts is simply exactly what the leaders were sharing at the events. So another reason to get to events, my friends. So there's your find your content, is what you're learning. It's the whole learn, do, teach, all at the same time. So as soon as I find a blog post that I learned something, I almost immediately go out there and say, oh my goodness, I learned this. I've got to share this with my list, my people that are going to be reading my blogs. They're going to want to learn this as well, and what I just found out. Because if I learned it, I know they need to learn it too. And that is exactly what you need to position yourself for, and the stuff that you share on your blogs. Learn, do, teach. It's not rocket science. So I got the one at the event, and the other one explains the system that are probably the two most popular blog posts that I can think of that got shared. You probably can look on the team blog and find the popular post and find the ones that actually has a lot of shares on it. I'm not sure all the correct numbers, because I go, how some of those social share plugins are not really accurate.
Yes.
And you go and you tweet something and it has a 0 on there, and you go tweet it going, and you come back going, shouldn't it say at least 1? I did tweet it out. And I don't think your plugin's working because it's not sharing that I tweeted it out, you know. So it's hard to tell sometimes those plugins aren't quite working the correct way. Because I remember on the Empower blog, it was pretty powerful too. As soon as I probably on the old blog though, I recommended it, I saw it more, but as soon as I hit publish, I got like 70 shares. I was like, dang, this was like seconds ago and I got 70 shares on my Twitter. That's pretty gangster. I like seeing those numbers. So I always wondered what was the actual share, because I knew my stuff was getting automatically RSS feeded out, you know, on some things. So have that in place, get your RSS feeds and your little circles going. And that's always fun to watch. But there's some, you know, gangster tricks that you can add inside there. That does take a process in setting up, but once you have it, everything starts flowing a lot easier.
But those gangster processes, I'm going to encourage you, if you've never done anything, don't worry about that part yet. We're in kindergarten, just freaking blog.
That's right.
Then when you get to high school, you'll learn about those gangster moves, right? So tell us your background, Alecia. You're a piano teacher. Were you an English major? What gives you the right to tell us anything about anything?
You're so funny. I made like D's in English, Leslie.
Don't tell your children that. Okay.
No.
Rated R. No children.
I honestly do, but to be real, you know, I'm not an English maker. I teach piano. So that is a process that, you know, obviously I struggled with. And when you're determined to, you know, get past that struggle, you want it in a way that's conversational, that people will know how you speak out there. So I'm still working on that process as well. But he gave those qualifications in a more structured way where, you know, you're having that intro, that body, and that conclusion, that call to action, and the different, how often you need that keyword, and making sure you're doing things. And you want it spaced out and have, you know, very good images that are in there that are attractable, that people can just scan through and get a really good gist, because it's not like you're writing a book. A blog post has to be kind of scanned in a fast way where you're getting the idea, you're getting the knowledge out there, and then you can come back to it. I think, you know, really the average person that stays and reads a typical blog post is 2 or 3 minutes. So, you know, having, you know, 2 to 3 minutes to 5 minutes. Mine sometimes go to 8 minutes, depending on if you have a valuable video on there, or, you know, what pictures or slideshow you have maybe on there. And, you know, you want them spaced out in a way where they're just small paragraphs. I only have, you know, 2 or 3 sentences maybe in a paragraph where people can read it easily and then go to the next point and they get their little gist of the next one. So if you read some of these team blog posts, they've got, you know, paragraphs and images and paragraphs and images where you can grab them in those bite-sized chunks that can be easily scanned as they're reading down the page. And that's kind of how the qualifications were part of. So I feel totally easy not writing a book. I am just simply sharing those little thoughts here and there to make sure that people can grab that whole concept in an easy, chunkable way, right? So a blog post is written in a different format that you can, you know, make sure that you're not an English major, you're not writing. It's really sharing your thoughts and your feelings, and making sure that, you know, what they're learning from you is exactly how you learned it and why they should do it too, because you're solving problems on this blog post. People came to you because they're looking for something, and always keeping that in focus. You know, they don't want to go out and get an ebook, or they probably would go and do that. They don't want a huge book, or they would probably go and buy a book. They're looking for simple, small little knowledge that they can take them to the next step. So always think about that as, you know, a blog post is a journey, it's a journal, it's little tidbits of what happened today, why you're doing that. And it's not, you know, the most blog posts that are really simply shared is between 1,500 and 2,500 words. And yes, that is a lot, but when you're breaking it up with your pictures, it doesn't seem that much. It's not a book. It's not, you know, that ebook out there that's 40 pages or something. It's simple, those chunkable knowledge that you can bring and share with somebody that will say, oh, I like that, and they'll share it too. It's just, some people are sharing that much on Facebook. You're like, oh my goodness, they have a story again, and you're reading through, and like that's how much words pretty much you're reading. You're captivating that audience to learn more about you. It's enough knowledge in there. Does that help a little bit?
That helps a lot. And Alecia, I've turned on the Q&A. So if you have a question for Alecia, please type it in the questions and we'll have her answer. Now let me ask you a few more questions. So you're a phenomenal English major when you went to school. So
right.
You just take what you learn and you chunk it down into bite-sized pieces, like bullet-sized pieces. You added pictures that had something to do with what you were writing, because if you think about how you read a blog or how you read a news feed or how you read pretty much anything in this busy world, we want to see a picture, we want to scan, we want to see bold, and then we want the text in pretty big type. We don't want to have to put our glasses on, that kind of thing. We want it to work on mobile devices. But all of that stuff kind of comes with the tool that we offer. Alecia offers a tool, I offer a tool. We have tools that do that for you. It doesn't matter what business you're in. People want to know, like, and trust you. And how do they know, like, and trust you? But by doing a blog. So with these little tips that anyone can do, she can do it, I can do it, you can do it, homeless people have done it. You can do this for yourself too, because this is the type of work that pays off dividends in the long run. If you do the work today, how long did it take you to do research for a blog and get the pictures and stuff? Do you have an estimate?
It varies for everybody, but for me, I went to the event, so I kind of already had the content in place. Just writing it out maybe took about 4 hours total with that, and finding some images out there, that I can access and use for the thing. So everybody's a little different. Maybe it takes you, sitting down while my daughter was at school, and I said, I'm going to whip this blog post out, and that took the day. And then I took like the next 4 days or something sharing that, right?
Right, because that's the important part, right? Once you get something out there, and it has to be decent, but it doesn't have to be perfect, right? It doesn't have to be perfect. If you spend those 4 hours, what does Lawrence say? You should spend 20% of your time writing it and 80% of your time marketing it?
Right. So that's why I said, if you're spending 1 day on that blog post, spend the next 4 working days at least sharing it.
Right. So it just takes seconds, right?
Yeah, and there's a process that he goes through. You have all those social plugins, and you can, make sure you're going through that. That can take, depending on 30 minutes to, whatever, on logging into all those sites, making sure you're sharing it on those bookmarking sites. And then how you're targeting the people to exactly what you want to find, looking for those hashtags that you use or the keywords, and finding the relevant content that's out there that might be your competition, and say, hey, you might like this as well, and bring them back to your blog post. So there's really good targeted ways that you can think out of the box when you're trying to share your content as well, instead of just a few seconds, I'm going to go share it on Facebook, Twitter, and Pinterest, so.
Right, and the other thing that I learned from this last event is that once you share it, the life of something on social media, Facebook especially, or Twitter, or one of those, is like 4 hours. So if you've shared it, share it again tomorrow. A lot of people haven't even seen it. And those are some of the tips and techniques. And then Alecia had talked about this group that she's in. This group writes a blog. It's a group blog. So a lot of people go there to share that information. A lot of people write content that you can share. If you have nothing, I've used it myself. I've probably shared your blog, to tell you the truth. I think I did. When I didn't have content that day, when I didn't know what I wanted to blog about, then I go to my audience. I go to my people and I say, this is great information. You need to know this to help you grow your business this way, blah, blah, blah. I write a short intro that comes from me, and then I share Alecia's blog. Well, that helps Alecia because people are getting to know her. It helps me because I didn't have anything to write, so Alecia wrote it for me. you don't have to do all the work yourself. You can go and find great blogs and you can share them, helps you, and then you start building and forging relationships. Because let me tell you, the more people that know you, the more people that join you and use your business. If you're a customer of Walmart, does that mean you never go to Target? Almost never, right? If you go to Safeway, do you never go to King Soopers? No, a lot of people have a favorite, but they still go to the other place, right? So there is enough. We live in a land of abundance. There is enough business for all of us. We all have unique and different gifts to share. So when I'm sharing Alecia's content, I know that I am just giving value to my people, the people who follow me, and some of them might start following her. If she is better at certain things than I am, that's okay, because that's not what I'm great at. And then maybe some of her people get to know me, just like now. We both have invited people to this meeting, right? So if you think of it as an abundant life and you start sharing people's content and other people start sharing your content, you'll be amazed at how fast things grow. It is just amazing. Now, Alecia, I did want to ask you about that course that you're writing, because you're teaching people how to blog, right?
Yeah. Some of my really great blog posts was reblocking. They had that on the old blog, and I noticed when it converted over that the reblog is still out there. So I always make a section of look at the stuff that someone else has done as the reblog of it. But my course is basically people learning what those different blogging platforms are, and so they're aware of what's out there to blog about and different ways to make money on blogs. So there's different platforms that people use to blog for different purposes. So I made a cute little blogger blog, or actually I had someone make it for me, create one for me. And my dad's not on Facebook. We share a lot of pictures from our family on Facebook. And so some of my family didn't get, all the pictures and videos that I do share, with just family and stuff with my daughter. So I made a Pacific blog just for her on Blogger blog. So obviously I'm not making money from that blog, and that was just like a personal family one that I wanted my dad to look. I'm going to email that updated, here's a way for you to see pictures of my daughter, so he can stay updated and seeing her, especially the time when I lived in Texas and there and in Tennessee. And so that's why I use the blog. And some people want to use it that way. But some people also think, Facebook is more public than blogs, and they have this different aspects, who's seeing it. But Facebook has this privacy sections that you can use just for certain people, and so that might be more, and then the blogger blog might be more in public. So it doesn't matter, how you want to get out there. There's different purposes for it. But I basically said, you want to blog to make money. You want to be in profit. There are certain platforms that you don't want to use to make sure it's your home base for profiting for blogs. And people just aren't aware of that aspect, that you got to have, this is your home base, that people want to find you and get to know you, and all of your stuff is stored right here. This is your home base before it goes out there and shares everything. And a lot of people don't realize that if they use other type of platforms out there that might be free, or other platforms that aren't as stable, then it might be gone the next day. You might have all these different things that happen, and you never know what's going to happen. It's going to be gone. And it's so people don't understand the value of when you put your content out there, it's always going to be out there, whether you're paying for it or not. It's going to be out there. And some people don't realize the power of that. Yeah, if you don't pay for it, it might go to your upline team, but it's your stuff. It's always going to be out there. And if you blog on a free platform, they're going to take it. And if you're blogging on a platform that if you don't pay for it, it's going to be gone. It's going to be gone. And so this platform that we use is secure. It's a stable company. It's going to be out there, and they're not going to take it away because you're asking for a sale on it. And that's the power of the platform we use, and the way that you find your home base in a way that people can see, like, and trust you, right? And all these different aspects. So that is the training that I use in this, and the course is to kind of be aware of what that is, and really some ways that you can share your blog, your blog in a way that you can make profits, and how you're targeting your exact profit on there. So thank you, Leslie. Get inside my Blogging for Profits Udemy course.
I know, I'm signing up. I am signing up. I can't wait. I think that's a great thing to do, because, you know, one of the things that you realize as you're growing your business is that there's always something new you can learn. One thing, just one thing every day. I try and learn one thing every day that will help me grow my business. And I don't care how long you've been in something, there's always something someone else can teach you. And I got to tell you, learning from you and following you, and I have just blown away the level of knowledge I had before I met you versus when I'm having you on this program now. It just takes one thing, and then you watch somebody and you follow them and you grow with them and you learn from them. So it's just phenomenal. Now tell us a little bit more. You talked a little bit about your daughter, but tell us more about your why. You don't want to go back to a real job. You want a business that pays you enough to live. You have a daughter. How old is she, and what's her name?
She's 8, Paley.
She's adorable. She goes to all the events with Alecia. She sits right beside her mom. It's beautiful. She did not go on stage with you, though. I was a little surprised.
Well, she has mom and pa around here in town, and she was only able to come to the event for, you know, like 45 minutes or so right after school on Friday. So I had her in town, and it says, Mom and Pa can watch you. And they had, you know, certain family stuff. My sister had her son's birthday party and stuff going on. So go have fun, you know. They know she would have liked to go. And so really I've only taken her to a couple events, and they were kind of why I wanted to bring her, so she can be part of my world, so she can see all my friends, what's going on. I think that was really important for me, for her to understand, you know, what I'm doing and why I'm doing it, and for her to be a part of that. And it takes different aspects of why. So when you have little babies and different ages of kids, they want to see things in different times. So that's why I took her. You know, I think her first trip was probably Orlando, and my big why was to take her to Disney World. That was like my dream forever. I was like, I'm going to take you to Disney World. I'm just working on that. Where, you know, she loves those princesses, and we've talked about it for a long time. And I always wondered, you know, who am I going to go with? And I just said, you know, if I'm gonna give her experience, I'm gonna give it to her. And having that set in motion from when she was real little, that, you know, who I was with was not going to give her that experience. This is, I've got to be the one to take her to the park, to go and make sure she gets these experiences that I want her to learn and grow from. It says, who's going to take her to Disney World? I am going to do this for her, and make that a point that, you know, this is what I want to give her, in a way that I'm setting up a future, exactly what she wants, and those needs and stuff out there. So that is kind of why I wanted to make sure she experienced that, and going to Orlando. So we drove all the way from Tennessee to Orlando, and that was an experience itself when we got the road trip. But the next one was, she's never been on a plane, and I knew the next event was too far for a road trip, because we're in the middle of Tennessee. We can go to really a lot of events just by driving, you know, that has been around. We can drive to probably Texas and way over to North Carolina. But when it was all the way over in Vegas, I said, we're going to have to do a plane ride. And she was like so excited, we get to go on a plane. So that was kind of the big thing. I took her on a plane when she was like about 2, because I hate going to over the mountains. Like, I get totally sick, and my head like spins, and I have to really focus on the road if I'm driving through the mountains, like Chattanooga. Not fun for me. So being that altitude sickness, and I didn't like West Virginia, we went to West Virginia first to see family, is when she experienced a plane ride, and she was less than 2. So I know she didn't really remember that. So now that she was 8, so now let's go on a plane ride over to Vegas. And she was able to, like, my first plane ride, and there was a couple stops over to us, so we got to experience the plane ride. And just those little things, you don't think matters, but it's really that experience that you want to give them, that the way that they travel to them, and the whole atmosphere, the environment that you want to put them in, of them being around people that are uplifting, always upbeat, that are, wanting to recognize them, that you're together, you're a family. And I think that was what I wanted her to experience. So she got more comfortable in that environment of people around me being uplifted, even though she was really still shy. And knowing the process of doing this, it was me wanting to be around me in my environment for her to experience that. So I know there's different things in her life that she's going to have to go through and face, and being around me can always helps and uplifts me a little stronger. So sad thing about that trip, though, I got to give her on a plane and experience that, but it was so dry there. I think we couldn't portray how dehydrated we got to be. So I think we ate like one meal. I was trying to get her all this water, and she just got total sick. So like the last day there, she was really sick and just stayed in the bed the whole time. And I was like, I'm missing half the event. But we got to experience that, come back and kind of recoup. So hopefully it was, okay. You'd hate to be on a trip and be sick about that, but there's nothing you could do. Things happen. So, but you have that when you go through. You have to go. They get sick. It's just going to happen. But so that was the 2 events she had too. So the next one in Vegas, I'm still up in the air on whether I'm going to take her or not. We'll see. It's going to be fun just to kind of see what we do put together. So it's going to be fun to see what she wants to do, and how I can encourage her to do certain things. And it's getting about that age where she's getting more decisive on what she likes, and sharing that, being mommy, I know you're doing this, but I don't like this, just having her, personality, her things that out there that we're trying to work on, that she can do, and what she can't do, and what she likes and what she doesn't like, all that's fun stuff. So
I love the role model that you're being for your daughter. I think that is phenomenal. And I am so impressed. And even if she doesn't come to another event, she'll understand that mom's doing this for her. And I think we as parents, we as business owners, need to understand who's watching us. Because on the stage in Nashville, this big burly MMA fighter, his name is Paul, he brought his little daughter on the stage, and he was crying. Right? Because that's why we do this. We do this for our family. We do this for a reason and for a purpose. And I want to encourage you to know that you are not alone on your journey to business success. Whether you're in a network marketing business, or if you're running a brick and mortar business, whatever kind of business you have, these tools and these resources, these systems help you build that business. And they can get you off the ground. And you have love and support of people like Alecia, who will come and share with their heart whatever they know. This is where you need to be. This will help you build your business that creates a business that will let you go to the zoo on a Friday instead of write a blog post, right? Spend time with the people who are important to you. So I encourage you to look at the links below our names and join us. Join Alecia, join me. If you join my link below, I will send you the link to the team blog. I forgot to get it before we came online. I didn't realize I needed to get that for you. But I'll send you the link to the team blog so you can see the type of content that's out there. If you think you want to get yourself well known, but you don't have a blog, or you're worried that you won't have enough content, you can join us and use this team blog for whatever purpose you need to It's just going to be there. You're going to have some of the best content in the world. We have what? Engineers, we have piano teachers, we have lawyers, we have doctors, we have accountants, we have the whole gamut of people writing blogs, and the whole environment. Some people write about colors and how to interact with people and that kind of thing. Some people write about social media, like Alecia and this Facebook post. Some people write about piano. I mean, it really doesn't matter what they write about. If it moves your heart, you can use it as your content and share it. You just give authority back to where it goes. You don't have to do anything but put your own little paragraph in front of it. It's beautiful. So if you join my link, I will go ahead and share that with you. If you join Alecia's link, I'm sure you can find out how to join that blogging class, because I haven't joined it yet, but I'm going to do that today because I am so excited about learning additional blogging skills. And I want to thank you, Alecia. I will ping you offline because I have a special gift for you for being on my program. I really appreciate people who are willing to give of themselves for free. She didn't get paid for this. I'm not getting paid for this. We're just sharing this information with you because that's how you get to know other people. You get to know, like, and trust them based on what they share. And you can't believe the people in this organization, the people on this team, how helpful they are. Wednesday night, what we have, like, I don't know, 150 people on a meeting on a Wednesday night. I don't know, but I just looked at that and I said, I'm not alone. There will always be someone there to hold my hand when I need that. And that gives me the strength to go off and do stupid things that I've never tried before. So what is the most weird thing you've blogged about?
Weird thing.
Yeah.
I always wondered what weird means, because it seems like in the city or something like Austin or something, you have weird stuff. And I'm like, what classifies as weird? Because I think we're all a little weird in a way. And I'm like, which ones go off on? So maybe one of the most popular ones that I can think of that keeps coming around, and I just get blown away about this one blog post. So it's and I think I was having fun with creating it, so maybe that's why it's weird. I don't know what classifies as weird, but on my 2S Success Stream blog .com, I wrote like 17 different ways you can create videos, and the number one way I put up there was Stoop Flex, and I didn't realize that that link that I recommended, it comes in sporadically, maybe every day or every other day, but I get all these HD passes and I don't even really use them, but I've got tons saved up. I don't know why, but you can go in there and put your, few second videos, your pictures, and make a 30-second video or something. I mean, like, professional photographers use this. I mean, use this for your different events. I've used this for, the zoo day, going, oh, I've got this fun, put it together. I think I did it at the park, but I use this all the time, and people are like, oh, that's a fancy video. I really like how you put it together. And it really does look like the transitions are good. They've got a little theme. You can put music behind it, make it fancy. So that's just like one tool that I use, and there's so many out there. Like I said, I put 17, and then there's so many comments of going, oh, you missed this one and this platform and this platform. So even looking in the comments, you'll find more stuff. So I think that was kind of weird on how you're creating that value out there. And it's like, oh, I think one of them I made an example of, and it was so funny. It was when they were going through the team producer offering the different ways they were offering it. Like, it was free at first for like a week, and then it was $17, and then it was $47, like how they offered it in different ways. So I made this funny video of it going back. I was like, did you get that? It was free, right? You're like, what? It's $17. No, wait. It was just like a conversation between this monster going back, and I missed this conversation. You shared this link, and now it's this much, and now it's this much. And I'm like, that's the network marketer for you. You missed the offer, but now it's $17. And if you miss that, it's going to be $47. So you know how fast you got to take action out there on making sure when you see that, you click the link right now because it might go up. Fast action takers know how to create success streams. So I think that was the funny part. I was like, dang, I just got to put that little monster in there going, did you miss that free link? I did offer it for free. But it's too late. You missed the offer. So watch for that blog post. There's different, I don't know if I'm weird, Leslie. I'm just a neuro piano teacher, I feel like. You just got to have fun in what you do, and you find those weird perks that come out in your personality.
That is so important. Do things that are fun sometimes, or more than sometimes, because having fun, if we're going to be here, we might as well have fun, right? And by the way, did you guys notice I'm all in pink in honor of Alecia today and her pink hat?
Woo woo, we're pink today.
I wore my pink. I even have my little headline or my borders pink and everything. I actually do have pink behind me. It's my pink background. Yes, I dress.
They say something on selling colors too, you know, have a red or pink or something. I think Tom the Furry Hat Guy even has pink clothes that he wears too. You're like, you know, pink sells. I'm like, you know it.
Well, now if Tom comes to an event in pink fur, then we'll have something weird to talk about.
Oh, we need to add that. It's like you add some fur on my hat, you add some pink fur on your hat. We work on this, Leslie.
I love it. I love it. Well, I just want to thank you for coming on the program, Ninja Diaries, where we highlight the best and the greatest skills that you can put to action today. Alecia Stringer, thank you so much for joining us, and give us one parting word of advice, Alecia. What would you do on your next blog post if you wanted a post that might have a possibility to be shared 2,000 or 3,000 times?
Oh my goodness. Always create that value that someone would come back and find consistency in what you do. Those blog posts that get shared, you know, 2,000 or 3,000 times are the ones that usually are those big lists of different things. So you think of out of your market and think of out of your box of, you know, more people that you can recommend and stuff. So that was those different bullet points that just add some different things. So it takes some work. Maybe you want to interview people on a certain topic and, you know, have them all come back. And Neil Patel shares all these different strategies of what really would make a big shared blog post out there. So, and I don't really do those to everyone because people want to know your journey and how you're doing that too. So maybe you want to do a couple of small ones, say, I'm working on this content and this is what I've got so far, or, you know, if it's taken you a while, and maybe you keep adding to that same blog post, you'll publish it and then keep adding it and seeing how it keeps sharing. So there's tons of ways to do it out there on that quality content that people want to come back to.
That is awesome. So Leslie Lane Peabody, Ninja Diaries, I invite you to join up with Alecia and I, and we are going to our next event at the end of July, the 1st of August. You need to be there. I don't care what business you're in. This information is going to help you grow your business, and Alecia and I would like to have you join our team. You will love it. We have the best people in the world. We have people like Alecia there. So please join us and come to Las Vegas with us in a couple months and learn how to do this for yourself, because it will rock your world. So thank you all very much. Leslie Lane Peabody, Ninja Diaries, and we will see you next time with some more great content about how to build your business online. Bye.
Thanks, Leslie.